Okay, verse 45. So, the mind in terms of the perceived and perceiver, this is the Tathagata have never seen. Where there is perceived and perceiver, there is no enlightenment. 46. Devoid of characteristic, origination, devoid of substantive, reality, transcending speech, space, awakening mind, and enlightenment possess the characteristic of non-duality. 47. Those abiding in the heart of enlightenment, such as the Buddha, the great beings, and all the great compassionate ones, always understand emptiness to be like space. Therefore, constantly meditate on emptiness, the basis of all phenomena, tranquil and illusion-like, groundless and destroyer of cycle of existence. 49. As non-origination and as emptiness, or as no self, grasping at emptiness, as such, he who meditates on a lesser truth, that is not true meditation. 50. The notions of virtue and non-virtue, characteristic by being momentary and disintegrated. The Buddha has spoken of their emptiness. Other than this, no emptiness is held. 51. The abiding of a mind which has no object is defined as the characteristic of space. So they accept that meditation on emptiness is in fact a meditation on space. 52. With the loin row of emptiness, all pronounced and man are frightened wherever such speakers recite. Their emptiness lies in wait. Okay, this transmission. Now we have talked about emptiness. Very complicated tough. So first verse, mind in terms of the perceived and perceiver, So that's what we are talking about here is mind is subject. Now usually we talk about subject, object, external. Mind perceives the object means mind is internal, object is external. But here we're not talking like that. Mind perceives mind. So means subject is mind, object also mind. So mind perceives mind. So I have a little bit like paradox. Mind perceives mind, because mind is not something like shape, color, or we cannot see the mind. We cannot pinpoint the mind, right? It's not like something external things we can say shape, color, like this. But mind is totally different, shapeless, colorless. So when mind perceives mind, so that means I want to read this, then we will know that. So this paradox, mind perceives mind. So because we very close to the mind, not necessarily we recognize the mind. Right? We are very close to the mind all the time. We have mind, body, feeling. It's as long as we are alive, mind is with us. The mind is always close to us. It's not necessarily we recognize the mind. Right? So what we are here talking about is when mind perceives the mind, so there is paradox here, okay? Paradox. Like, I am look for myself everywhere, myself everywhere. Search the world over without ever finding myself. I am looking the world. But I did not recognize myself, but I'm looking over the world. Because I'm what I search for the problem is the same as trying to see our own face. Our face. So like our eyes are very close to it, but they cannot see it anymore other than they can see themselves. Like this. We do not come to know our mind simply because it is too close to us. It's not necessarily we recognize the mind. So simply said this, I cannot see it pupil like was. One's own mind does not have the capacity to see it. It is too close, too intimate, that we cannot discover it. So what does that mean? To see your face, you need mirror, right? So you look inside the mirror, then you will see your face. It is dirty or whatever. To see the mind, we need another perspective. Means through studying, thinking, meditation from the qualified master. And also we need lineage master, And then we will see our mind. When we talk about see our mind, we are not talking about ordinary mind. See our clear nature of mind. But when you have no mirror, you don't know your face. So looking inside the mirror, then you see your face. If it is dirty, you will wash the face. My face is dirty. So the reflection inside the mirror will tell you, right? So similarly, but here, when we talk about mind, perceived mind, it is paradox. But subject, object, both are mind, right? But what really means, we need another perspective to see the mind. Another perspective to see the mind means through analytical meditation or through single-pointed meditation. It is given by the qualified master with the lineage. Then you will be able to see your mind. So that is what we are talking about here. Perceiver, but there is no enlightenment until you see the, ordinary mind is not enlightenment. You know what I mean? Ordinary mind is illusion. The ordinary mind is always tell you two points, appearance and reality. Ordinary mind appears something, reality totally different. Illusion mind. But ultimate nature mind will never tell you. Appearance and reality is same. No different appearance and reality. Appears something clear, reality is empty. You know what I mean? So that's what. Now here, always understand emptiness to be like space. So I want to research this text, but very beautiful. When we recite Heart Sutra, right? Before Heart Sutra, we recite these 4 verses, these beautiful stanzas or the beautiful passage. We recite before we start meditation on Heart Sutra. So that is, I posted to the mother of the concourse of the 3 times, Matham Jameshara Parajan Tibetan, the perfection of wisdom indescribable by words or thoughts, which does not arise and does not cease in the nature like space. Those objects belong to the individual subject awareness of Matham Jameshara Parajan. Majimiga Ngawang. Sosola Ishijuma. We start with 4 these words, stanzas, start Heart Sutra. So what this telling is, space is the best example or the analogy of the emptiness. Because space is empty of obstruct contact. We speak space, but we cannot touch this space. We cannot see this space from our eye consciousness. We have to say space. So, for example, like if this meditation room, right? This is meditation room. So you have to can't put your cushion everywhere, right? So you have to put cushion where there's empty space, right? So when you want to put cushion, you're looking, you say, oh, this is empty, I can put my cushion and I can sit down and meditate. Like, so whenever you say, I want to meditate, but I have to put my cushion on the empty space. And then you put your cushion on the empty space and you sit on meditation. So that, but you cannot see your eye consciousness, cannot see the space, right? This space, nobody can see space. Is empty of obstruct contact. But we realize space, empty space. So that means if your eye consciousness cannot perceive the space, but you realize the space empty. If you didn't realize the space empty, then how can you put your cushion on the empty space? Because you say empty space, and then you put your cushion right, and then you meditate. Oh, this is empty space. I want to put my cushion, sit down and meditate. So then you realize partial emptiness, space meditation. Remember, space is what we call the space is empty of obstruct contact. Emptiness is empty of inherent existence. So when we talk about emptiness, we have to negate something. Space is the very good. So here, when you cannot, emptiness is what Buddha called mother. Mother perfection. All the Buddhas in the past, present, future, born from perfection of wisdom, emptiness. Right? So ordinary mind have no capable to realize emptiness. To realize emptiness, you have something, special mind. The special mind means you have to first learn perfection of wisdom, sutras, then learning then you have to follow the perfection of wisdom path. And then, following the path, then you will be able to realize the perfection of wisdom result. Sutra, perfection of wisdom sutra, perfection of wisdom path, perfection of wisdom. Result is Buddhahood. Truth. So when you come into the higher being, right, path of seeing, so you directly perceiving emptiness. So this will not described by mind or the thoughts. You experience some kind of emptiness but cannot describe to others. It's your individual experience. You know what I mean? So that this is why space is the best analogy of emptiness. So here, if you like this, here this one, Nagarjuna text, this is very good. Right? We have this one is very good. When you meditate on emptiness, two types of emptiness, of self and phenomena, only two types, right? So we use this very Nagarjuna text in the fundamental wisdom, right? 8 negation of emptiness. So in Tibetan it's called Kangi Tenji Dawachum. Everyone recites in the monastery. Gagba meba ke meba, Cheba meba ta meba, Owa meba do meba, Tade termin tunji min, Toba nyeshi shide ma dobe sanye ma nomin, Tambate la chafal. So that means fundamental wisdom. So before you start what we call the Madhyamika class, we always recite this text, fundamental wisdom from the Nagarjuna, and also this Heart Sutra, these stanzas. And also, so this one, translation to English is to prostrate to those holy utterances of the perfect Buddha. Because Nagarjuna pay homage to the Buddha, only Buddha can talk the dependent origination and emptiness. No other religions can talk. Like only Buddhists can talk dependent origination and emptiness. So therefore, I pay homage to you because you taught dependent origination and emptiness. Who taught dependent arising? Dependent arising. Neither cessation nor production. So there's 8 types of negation. If you take into yourself, there is no self stopping. There is no self, what we call the production. There is no self, how can I say? I can say like this. There is no self stopping. There is no self arising. If you take to the self or whatever cover, it doesn't matter. So 8, negation. There is no self discontinuation. There is no self permanent nature. There is no self coming, no self going, neither self different, no self one. That is 8 negation, Nagarjuna text. So first I want to say this, there is no, so first I posted to the Buddha because Buddha taught dependent arising. Right? Dependent origination, now you have to learn 2 things, relationship There's two types of relationship. Sameness, all the cause and effect relationship. Sameness relationship or cause and effect relationship. There's only two types of relationship. When we talk about dependent origination, we are talking about two types of relationship. Sameness relationship and cause and effect relationship. So sameness relationship means, now you can take the take example like these the flower cup or whatever, is the base. Cup is the base, and characteristics are characteristics of cup: shape, color, all these cause and impermanence of cup. These two, base cup and their characteristic, is tied. It is strongly related, because if something happened to the cup, we cannot talk about characteristics of the cup. So you realize cup and its characteristic is sameness relationship. Code. You understand what I'm saying? Sameness relationship means means cup destroy nothing. We can not talk about anything characteristic of the cup. Anything in the material like this, sameness relationship. Cause and effect, right? So we can talk many things, right? To parent and children, right? Cause and effect. Children is not independent existence. If children is independent existence, no need cause, no need father, mother, just children come there. Impossible. So this kind of relationship is called, or like we can say like this fire and smoke relationship is cause and effect. Children and parent relationship is causal relationship. Dependent origination. Therefore, I told you dependent origination because cause and effect. No independent existing. So dependent origination will cut the what? Nihilism and absolutism. It cut in dependent origination. If something dependent origination, then you say, oh, it's not independent, dependent origination. So here, what Nagarjuna is saying, when you meditate on emptiness, just simply, first you think about your aggregates, 5 aggregates, is your base, right? Your 5 aggregates, right? So, if the base of your designation is 5 aggregates, your body, feeling, recognition is your base. I am totally dependent on these 5 aggregates, right? So when you are sitting and start meditation on emptiness, I am sitting on the cushions because I have these 5 aggregates. So because me totally depend on the aggregates. If there is no aggregate, I cannot sit and meditate. I'm sitting here because me depend on aggregates. So when you realize something that I'm sitting on the cushion, so I'm not, I'm sitting on the cushion because I depend on aggregates. Then you discover, oh, I am not self-existent because I am dependent on aggregates. Then you discover rough nature of your emptiness. That when you're sitting and your base of designation is your 5 aggregates, right? and then you meditating on emptiness. So I'm not self-existence, because if I'm self-existent, I cannot sit on the cushion. How can you sit on the cushion, right? I'm sitting on the cushion because I am totally dependent on these five aggregates of my body, my feeling. Therefore, I am not self-existent. Then you negate that, and then you discover I am essence of what is called independent existence. Then you simply discover your emptiness. Just simple 5 minutes like this. If you want to meditate on emptiness, so first you think, oh, I'm sitting on the cushion because me is not independent existence. Because if I'm independent existence, how can I sit on the cushion? I'm sitting on the cushion because me totally depend on the five aggregates. So when you say, oh, I depend on the five aggregates, then you dispel independent existence self, because I'm dependent arising. You understand what I'm saying? So therefore, this is the meaning of the dependent arising. With dependent arising, we have two relationships. You have to understand this is very important. Sameness and cause and effect. Now you discover that I am. Simply you want to meditate on emptiness. Oh, I want to sit on the cushion and meditate on emptiness. Yes, of course, right? If I ask you, do you see this emptiness? Right? Do you see the empty space? Can you see the empty space? No. Nobody can see the empty space. But we talk about empty space, right? You can't see the empty space, but empty space is there, right? Who realized empty space? Not your eye consciousness, but you're thinking, empty space do exist, I put my cushion there. Who is this thing? Not your eye consciousness. Your mental consciousness thinking, oh, there's empty space, I can put my cushion there. Then what happened? Then you negate something, right? You negate obstruct contact of the space. This is similar when you meditate on emptiness, you negate independent self. The best way is you sit on the cushion, right? When you want to meditate on emptiness, I'm sitting on the cushion, right? I want to meditate on emptiness. Sitting on the cushion. Okay, so I'm sitting on the cushion, why? Because me depend on the aggregates. And therefore I'm sitting on the cushion. Therefore, I'm not self-existent. So you discover your nature roughly. But that is not enough, but we have to go deeper and deeper understanding of the emptiness, right? So that's the one point. And so now we go with no self-existence, cessation or stopping, right? This is what we are talking about, cause and effect. Sooner or later, some point, we will die. But cause and effect. Like lifespan, how long you live, and what cause and condition. Like it doesn't come back itself. It comes depend on the cause and condition. No self-existence cessation, because depends on cause and condition. Some point you die because sickness or because of life's unfinished or whatever, accident or whatever. So no independent self-existence cessation. No independent self-arising. Right? Let me give you an example like people coming on the teaching, new people coming on the teaching. If they are self-arising, how can they come here? They are coming because they want to come listen, teaching, driving, and I want cause and effect. Many coming here. New people coming, arising here. It's not independent because it depends on cause and condition. Because driving here or I want to go teaching or then coming here. If that is self-independent anything, you don't have to drive by, you come here. How can? Impossible. You're coming from here to listen, arising. No self-independent arising. No self-independent disconnection. So that means we talk about cessation, nirvana. Right? Cessation comes from through your practice in meditation. You meditate, learn, and then you slowly apply antidote to the afflictive emotions. And gradually, afflictive emotions cease. And cessation of the afflictive emotion is not self-existence. If it is self-existence, you don't have to meditate, you don't have to learn, you don't have to do anything, but no. It depends on, on many causes and conditions, right? So that's no self-existence disconnection. No self-existence permanent natural reality. Right? It's not permanent, right? It's changing all the time, huh? If it's permanent, no change, right? It's not independent existence. No self-existence coming and coming into being, you know. You're coming into being depends on many causes and conditions. First, you need depend on the substantial cause. Secondly, you depend on the cooperative cause. Many causes and conditions come to being. Any cups or whatever, human beings or whatever, we always have two causes, substantial cause or cooperative cause. Substantial cause should be similar to. The mind cannot be substantial cause of the external things, because mind and external things are not same nature. Right? Mind can contribute to do something external thing, but when we talk coming into being, we need two causes, substantial cause and cooperative cause. So, for example, like if you want to plant the, apple seed, it is substantial cause of apple. But that is not enough. You need cooperative cause. You need all this sunshine, all other things. Then apple grow. So that is not independence. No independence coming. No independence going. Right? Going is not independence. So what happened now? 2022, 2021 gone. It does not go on by itself. Week, month, 24 hours, minute, second, and 21 is gone. So 2021 year is 2021 year is not gone by itself. It gone depends on cause and condition. Right? So this is negation. No self-existence, stopping. No self-existence, arising. No self-existence, disconnection. No self-existence, permanent nature. No self-existence, coming. No self-going. 6 finish. No self-existence, neither different nor one. So, as I mentioned before, we are talking about relationship of the sameness. So, base and characteristic is tied, right? Relationship, something happened to the base, finish everything. You know what I mean? If something happened to the cup, we cannot talk about the characteristic of the cup. So that show us cup and characteristic have a different, right? Cup is base, characteristic, we say cup, we say the blue cup, whatever, you know, who made this cup, what is nature of cup, impermanence of cup, all are characteristics of cup, but different, but same nature. There is no independent, different nature. No independent one. All emptiness, same nature, right? That does not mean only one emptiness. There are many, many emptiness. If there's 100 objects, 100 emptiness. 1,000 objects, 1,000 emptiness. But nature same is not necessarily only one emptiness. There are many different. Generally speaking, two types of emptiness. We are talking about the emptiness of self and phenomena, all emptiness, included in these two, right? So that is the and the peace is total. You know, when you realize emptiness, it give you total peaceful, right? Total pacification. It will give you ultimate happiness, not temporary happiness. Like emptiness, pacification. So this is one point. When we meditate on the emptiness, we should do this eight negations, and take the example of the space from the Heart Sutra, before Heart Sutra. So there's a beautiful passage or the stanzas from the sutra. We have to recite this in the monastery. Tibetan. So that means whatever arises from causes does not arise inherently. Okay? That which relies on cause is said to be empty. It's a beautiful passage from the sutra. Whatever arises from causes does not arise. Very, very popular when we in the monastery. We have to recite this all the times. Whatever arises from causes does not arise inherently. That which relies on cause is said to be empty. What is the meaning of this passage of the sutra? Standard Buddha taught. So whatever arises from causes, first means that any phenomena, right? External phenomena, internal phenomena, like form, mind, person, and so forth. It comes from causes, then it cannot grow. It sounds very strange if you don't pick up the meaning, you know. You're right. It comes from, if you don't pick up the, you may misunderstood, you know. So if I say like this, if it comes from causes, then it cannot grow. That doesn't make sense. If come from cause, it should grow, change. But you have to be careful about this, this word. What does it really means? That if I say in this way, it may sound very strange. But it really means if anything arises from causes, it does not arise self-existent. That is, it has no self-existence quality or self-existent substances. That is the meaning of this word. If I say like this, you may confuse. If I say if it comes from causes, then it cannot grow. Doesn't make sense. What does it really means? This is meaning here. It means that if anything arises from causes, it does not arise self-inherently. That is, it has no self-existence quality or self-existence substances. That's the meaning of this. The second one is does not arise inherently, right? Sorry. First one is this one, okay. Anyone then that which relies on the causes, right? We finished with these two, right? We finished the whatever arises from the causes does not arise inherently. I finished, remember? Now, that which rely on the causes, so that means because they arise from their causes, they don't have any self-existence substances. Because they arise from their causes, then they don't have any self-existence quality. Fruit, crops, and smokes and all phenomena. If they come from causes, that means they are no independent self. Because they have no independent quality. They depend on cause and condition. Then said to be empty, right? Said to be empty. So that means it is said that anything that depends upon its causes is empty. Anything depends on its empty. Whoever realizes this, has realized emptiness. If you realize emptiness, you have very best kind of knowledge. Best kind of knowledge, because it is the highest kind of happiness. If you realize this verse, whatever arises from causes does not arise inherently. That which relies on causes said to be empty. You have to recite this and then meditate on the emptiness. So this will help you to, because emptiness is not enough just understanding rough emptiness. Right? Before I mentioned before you, I'm not independent existence, right? When you want to meditate on emptiness, first you sit on the cushion, and I want to meditate on emptiness. So first what you think, I want to sit on the cushion, right? I'm sitting on the cushion, right? So when I'm sitting on the cushion, but where am I? You sitting on the cushion, you analyze yourself from top to the bottom. You cannot find yourself. But you strongly believe I'm true, I still exist. We have this feeling, right? So you analyze from top to the bottom, you cannot find yourself. But still you believe I am sitting on the cushion. But that is what we call self-grasping existence. We have to negate that one. You meditate on that. So to negate that one, then you sit there, oh yes, I cannot find myself, but still I strongly believe I'm sitting on the cushion. I'm sitting on the cushion because I depend on aggregates, 5 aggregates. Right? If I am depending on aggregates, then this is why I'm sitting on the cushion. So that means I'm not independent self-existent. Then you discover rough emptiness. Meditating like this, just rough. You understand what I'm saying? Do you understand? So that, okay. So now that is not enough, right? You have to go deeper, understanding analytical meditation as well as single-pointed meditation. So what Buddha told in the Heart Sutra, right? So you have to use these to deeper understand of emptiness. You need to use this, what we call the four application of emptiness during meditation time. When we recite Heart Sutra, right? Form is empty. Emptiness is form is empty. Emptiness is form. Emptiness is not something other than form. And the form is not other than emptiness. You have meditating, you have to bring this application during your meditation. So when you talk about form for yourself, you think your body. I'm sitting on the cushion, right? Your 5 aggregates. Where's your body? Can you find your body? Says, you may say, I'm sitting on the cushion, this is my body. But when you search, you cannot find that. When you cannot find. But you're still sitting on the cushion, right? So form is empty. So then that means I'm sitting on the cushion because I am no self-independent existence. I totally depend on the 5 aggregates. Then you realize nature of the form. That is, form is emptiness. You understand what I'm saying? Form is emptiness means you realize nature, the form does not exist independently, does not exist existing from the side of the object, right? You totally believe, where's your form? You may say, oh, I'm sitting on the cushion, that is my form. When you analyze, right, analytical meditation, you will not find that one. You still believe, so you cannot find that one, right? But all you can find is absence of independence of form for yourself. Ultimate nature. Form is empty. You have to relate this with the meditation of emptiness. Now emptiness is form, right? Form, and you have form, right? So your 5 aggregates are the base of 5 aggregates is the base of designation. So you are the base, right? And all your characteristic. You base and your characteristic is sameness relationship, right? Something happened to you, we cannot talk about your characteristic, right? You and the characteristic is strongly tied. You see the strong relationship, right? So emptiness is form, means form. So you realize, oh, I'm not self-existence, right? Because I'm sitting on the cushion, I depend on the 5 aggregates. You discover, oh, I'm empty. Form is empty. Now emptiness is form. I and all my characteristics. Right? You have many characteristics, right? You have base. You have so many characteristics, right? You can speak your what body shape, color, hair, all your characteristics. Their nature is empty, yet they are still how can I say? They are still merely labeled by the mind, designated by the mind. You see, you hear, you smell, you taste, you eat, everything. You're doing this, functioning, right? But their nature is empty, yet you are doing things. At a conventional level, You see, you smell, you taste, you work, do many, many things. Why? It's merely labeled by the mind, designated by the mind. So you're functioning in the conventional level. If emptiness is not, our form is emptiness, not form, this will not happen. You see, you smell, you taste, you work, you do many things. All these characteristics, nature is empty, but it is merely labeled by the mind. Emptiness is form. Do you understand what I'm saying? Yeah. Form is that you relate to your meditation. Form is empty, emptiness is form. Now, emptiness is no other than form. Right? This is, as I mentioned before, this is cup, right? Right? This is form, right? Emptiness and cup. Emptiness of cup is not other than cup. How? Without, it is right. Because we talk about empty space, right? And then everything exists because of space, right? Space is base of everything, right? We are existing here. We are existing here because of space and all these elements, right? So, emptiness of the form does not exist. Emptiness of the form and form is sameness, strongly connected. You know, like cannot survive like right and left hand, depend on each other. You know what I mean? We cannot say, so you, emptiness is not other than form. Form is not other than emptiness. It's like switch off this one. Form is not other than emptiness. Form, base. Emptiness is characteristic. Base, form, and emptiness strongly connected, tied. No base, form, no characteristic, emptiness. You understand? Form is emptiness. No base, you cannot exist. So like feeling, recognition, confirmation, all are same. You have these 5 aggregates, right? Do you understand? When you meditate on emptiness, roughly discover, I want to meditate on emptiness, right? I'm just sitting on the cushion. And where should I put my cushion on empty space? Empty space. You see the space? No. You see the emptiness of space? No. But you still believe I'm sitting on empty space. You know what I mean? Because you realize empty space. This is very good analogy of the emptiness. Like you sitting on cushion, right? So that's one point. I want to more time. Not finish yet. So here we have to use these 3 logic, very important. The monastery institution. Logical subject is there. We need 3 things: subject, logical to prove the subject. Number 2, statement, the subject to be qualified by the proof. Number 3, reason. It's like this. First, logical statement. Second, that statement qualified to prove. Third, reason. I will give you, now this is for you. I, right? We're talking about emptiness of self. Is logical subject to be proved. logical subject, I, me. Then you need to prove that subject qualify I, like subject, does not independent existence. You prove I am not independent existence because I depend on causes and condition and dependent arising. So you prove I, me, meditating on I, this is a logical subject. Then you prove I, not independent existence, is you qualified I am not, that subject is not independent existence because now you use the logic or use the reason because I depends on causes and condition or the dependent arising. Then you prove yourself. That also goes with the phenomena like table is subject. Table, subject, right? Logical subject. Anything we can prove with these three things. This is analytical meditation on emptiness. We have to do like this in the monastery. This is very popular. So I, subject. We can do many things. I, subject, right? Does not independent existence. You prove I'm not independent existence, qualify. Then you need to prove how, why I am not independent existence, because I am dependent arising. Anything dependent arising is not independent existence. Then you prove I am not independent existence. This goes with the table, like table subject is not independent existence because it depends on cause and condition, dependent arising. So when you are meditating on emptiness, right? Who is meditating? I am meditating, subject, right? I am meditating. Now you prove, qualify, prove. Logical proof is logical statement is subject, I. So when you're sitting on the cushion, right? I, me. And I am not independent existence because I'm sitting on the cushion and depend on the aggregates, dependent arising. You know what I mean? Table, subject, is not independent existence because it depends on cause and condition. So you can prove this all. But first, remember, dependent arising, you must understand sameness, relationship between cause and effect. Right? Relationship, cause and effect, to goes to all the product. Relationship, sameness goes to both product and non-product. You understand? Non-product, we cannot speak about relationship, cause and effect. Right? So you must understand dependent arising, you must understand sameness relationship and cause and effect relationship. Cause and effect relationship is only for products, impermanent. But sameness relationship goes to both product and non-product. Like if I say like the subject, east is space, subject. So east is space is not independent existence because it depends on the other factors. It depends on the west, north, and south. There's no west, no east. Right? So you prove east is space, subject, it is not inherent existence because it depends on other parts, north, south, upper, lower. We speak all these sort of things, right? So whenever we meditate on emptiness, we should have use this logic. Do you understand what I'm saying? Sameness relationship. And so whenever you meditate, early morning, meditate, we want to meditate on this. First, you think about space. I'm meditating, sitting on my cushion. Right? So on my cushion, but there's no empty space, but I'm sitting on my cushion. So you sit on your cushion, right? So who is meditating? Am I meditating? Who am I? You analyze yourself. And then you realize you cannot find yourself, but you're sitting on the cushion. You say, I'm sitting on the cushion, but when you analyze, you cannot find. But that's very strange. That you want to meditate and sit on the cushion, but analytical meditation time, I cannot find myself. That is self-grasping. You have to negate that. I cannot find myself does not mean I am non-existence. I do exist because I am dependent on the aggregates or merely labeled by the mind. So then you will, there is no contradiction about emptiness and dependent arising. Like empty, dependent arising sounds contradiction. Empty means what? Dependent arising is sounds contradiction, but no, right? If you understand meaning, empty means empty of independent existence. We're not talking about non-nihilism. We're coming into the what we call the middle way. Whenever we're meditating on emptiness, right, our mind comes to the middle way. The middle way means, you are dispelling two things, nihilism and absolutism. So nihilism very dangerous. So when you're sitting on a cushion, you analyze, you disappear, I'm not existing. Then you are going to the extreme. You don't go that way. Right? And then you sitting on the cushion and think, I am not self-existent. That will dispel the absolutism. So I'm not self-existence, I do exist. You go in the middle way, right? This is what we call this emptiness reason, right? There's 5 reasons for the emptiness. The best reason is dependent arising. It is called the king of reasoning. King of reasoning, because only dependent arising can dispel the 2 extremes, nihilism and absolutism, and you come into the middle way. That's the meaning you meditate on emptiness. Do you understand what I'm saying? Okay, thank you very much.